Welcome, Angry Faithful, to the Friday News. That's right. It's me, David Dickerman here, and Will
Yum.
Wild William. We're going to have to kick this off as fast as possible. Today's the day I got to go to work the next day. So it's going to be only an hour this day. Next week's probably going to be a lot longer. But main thing is we were talking about what happened at the Fed yesterday. I got a video of Trump giving him a letter of the costs, and we're going to go over that a little bit. And this is him receiving the letter and looking all confused.
This came from us?
Yes. I don't know who does that.
Oh, that was the wrong one, Bill. I am everybody. I am so sorry. That was.
Hello. Silence is not golden on the broadcast.
Yeah. So, what he's talking about that building, because I was curious about what that was, and apparently, I find it. Here's the proposal of the renovation. Okay, the most recent proposal for the Federal Reserve building renovation was approved by a board of governors in 2017, with an ongoing annual budget approvals since then. The project, which includes the Stephanie Hawking, please help me with this word. It's difficult for a special person like me. Eccles building, which he was talking about, that was done like 5 years ago, but it was still included in the plan. And the 1951 Constitution Avenue building has been under scrutiny for its $2.5 billion, which we now know it's $3.1 billion cost, with discussions and criticism identifying in July 2025 as evidenced by posts on X and reporters mentioned in a potential investigation into the cost overruns. So that's the reason why we as people are upset, because that right there, we shouldn't have the Federal Reserve. It's actually, in all reality, Federal Reserves is an offshoot. It's not. It's a group of bankers actually dictating the interest rates. And as of right now, the interest rates hasn't gone down. We're on a surplus of funds since June because of the tariffs. A lot of other things is coming through fruition. Yeah, like let me see.
It was an interesting photo op because everyone said, "Oh, he's the first president who's been there since Bush Sr., who's gone to meet with the Fed, and this is not. It shouldn't be. He shouldn't be doing that." And then, he's going to go there to discuss it. Nah, he's there for a building project. That's all.
Yeah. Here's another thing. A lot of people say it was like, "Oh, our interest rates should be lowered," but the Democrats say no, they should be the way they are because we're on a very, very high grocery fund. The groceries are so high, and they posted this. Let me see if I can get this a little bit bigger for everybody. Let me see here. View.
That
Zo- Let's zoom in here a little
Yeah,
bit.
someone sent me this, and it was from the Democrats had put that out. Anything you get from at Democrats or Occupy Democrats, you pretty much disregard it as bullshit. So what happened is there was that neat graph. Ooh, look, Trump's prices, but well, was it Trump that caused that big increase? So the Democrats took that down from the website because they didn't want people thinking that.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh so yeah. So right now we're technically in a surplus. Surprise, surprise.
Well, we
There, hold on real quick, Bill. Also, I was looking up what would be, the tariffs. Is it going to hurt us and everything? Is it going to destroy us? This is coming from a lot of the Budget Labs estimate 2.3 trillion to 3 trillion in overall revenue between 2026 and 2035. That's just the Budget Lab. These are all the budget places that I could find. The Tax Foundation estimates a 10% universal tariff could rise 2.2 trillion conservatively, or 1.7 trillion dramatically, while 20% would raise it to 3.4 trillion conservatively, or 2.6 trillion dynamically. The Penn Washington Budget Module project plans as 5.2 trillion conservatively and 4.5 trillion dynamically over a decade for the April 8th, 2025 tariff plan. Now, the daily and monthly data in April 2025, the U.S. collectively is 16.1 billion in tariff revenue, while the daily figures like 285 million on April 25th, up to 128 million on January 17th to 2025 reflects the impact on the new tariffs effectively of April 5th and 9th. Now, with that we already know that there's different tariffs for different places like China, Brazil, EU, mostly the BRIC communities. And some are saying that it should pick up if we keep these tariffs in place. Then we might actually be able to, I don't know, do this weird thing and pay back the deficit.
What? The national debt reducing?
Yeah, it would be weird.
It's interesting to hear the national debt of other countries. When they said, "Oh my God, our national debt is 1 trillion," it's like, yeah, okay, yeah, but they're a lot smaller, and people go, well, it's a tax on the American people. It's a tax on the American people. All they say is that one phrase. The most complicated class that I ever took in college, and I started taking programming, and I went to business, have a degree in business. The most complicated was intermediate macroeconomics. It is not just one phrase, does not encompass the entire theory of tariffs. And Trump is completely blowing away anything that is that was normally considered in tariffs. Normally, you'd like work with one country at a time. Okay, I'm working with this country. I'm going to raise tariffs. Well, we're going to do this. Well, he's working with multiple countries. So, just like, for example, his latest deal with Japan, one of the things is auto parts. Well, he's really dropping the tariffs on the autos, and auto parts. So it's a competition of, do we get them from Canada or will we get them from Japan? Well, Japan countries are subsidizing that tariff. So it isn't like the product is $100 and we're going to pay 110. It's like it's $100, but he's negotiated a lower price than this other country, and they eat that cost difference. So we're getting the money to pay down our national debt, and it's not going to make our costs any more expensive.
Yeah, but
That's why.
okay. The problem with a lot of the people that listen to the show or look at the clips that I put out, they keep on saying the same thing, and I keep on having to tell them that you have to understand, how tariffs are working and how a lot of countries are eating that. They're putting in part of their budget to take those tariffs out so they sell the product and get more revenue back into their own country. People don't understand that. They're like, oh, no, that's not how the economy works. Are you economists? Nope.
Has there been anyone in history that's worked with dozens of countries simultaneously? How many times does he go, okay, aluminum and steel? Okay, with this really good deal with Japan, he's still got a huge tariff on aluminum and steel, but he's got a lower tariff on it from the UK. So he's sitting there and going, okay, we don't need this product from this country, so I'll leave the higher tariff on it. He's even geez, I can't remember, on one of the countries and one of the products, he dropped the tariff to 0. He went below the 10%.
It was Vietnam.
He went below the 10% and then came out and said, okay, you work with us and let our products go into your market, and I'll really work extra on getting your tariffs down.
Yeah, that was the deal with Vietnam. They what he's trying to do with a lot of the countries that are around China is to get them to start making the stuff that China's making for us. Which, fun fact, you can actually blame Harbor Freight for a lot of this stuff. I just recently, Strap-on had a court case with Harbor Freight because Harbor Freight was blatantly stealing their stuff or buying their stuff and sending.
They don't make those kind of products.
Bill,
you didn't say Snap-on.
Bill.
You didn't say Snap-on.
Snap-on.
You said something else.
Oh, okay. Snap-on. I apologize. Okay. Thank you for correcting me, Bill. Snap-on.
Maybe everyone missed that.
Yeah, probably.
You should rewind that and see what he said.
Anyways, what Harbor Freight was doing is the main one that they were placating was a jack. What they did was they bought the jack, sent it to China, have them replicate it, gave them a price. Then they said, you can literally go into Harbor Freight and lift up the price of the whatever object, like the jack. We'll just go with the jack. You can look at the price of the jack. Say it's $173. You can flip it up, and it has the same digital code of the Snap-on tool, which right now we're going to go over the jack, and they give the price of the jack, which is probably about $200, $300. They can do that because they won the court case that ends up doing that. So yeah, you can blame Harbor Freight for some of this stuff.
All of the countries, that's one of the big things he's doing on those Asia countries, is they're instituting really, really strict origin tracking.
Oh yeah.
So if they do that, if they do that, those countries are going to stop doing it because he's like, I'm going to tariff you into oblivion if you don't stop that.
Oh no, they are because of the sole reason of what China was doing, trying to get away, get around the tariffs.
Right. That's what he's doing, though. He's having each country clamp down on origin tracking so they know exactly where each part of each thing is made. And he said, "You've got to stop that." And they are. So people don't know that these tariffs are more than just tariffs. There's stuff behind them that he's stopping.
Here's another thing that I found out, and this is just a quick pinup. I'm gonna go more in depth into it next Wednesday. Cambodia calls for immediate ceasefire with Thailand after 2 days of deadly clashes. Does anybody know? Does anybody know that Thailand and Cambodia are fighting? No,
What?
nobody cares. Yeah. Have you even heard of that?
No.
You watch the news all the time, right?
All the time. I've got it up here and I've got closed caption going so I can monitor it while we're talking.
Yeah. Thousands of people have been evacuated from either side of the border, while fighting has left at least 16 people dead. Cambodia wants an immediate ceasefire with Thailand. The country's envoy with the United Nations has said that with Bangkok as a signing and openness to talks after 2 days of deadly clash that have been left 15 dead and thousands displaced. Cambodia asked for an immediate ceasefire unconditionally, and we also call for a peace solution of the dispute, said UN Ambassador Kino. I'm going to say Kino because I can't even pronounce the first name. It's like Chhea. After a closing meeting of the council attended in the Cambodia and Thailand, a steady trumpet of artillery strikes have been heard from Cambodia's side of the border on Friday after a day early. A long-running border dispute erupted into intense fighting with jets, artillery, tanks, and grab troops, promising the UN Security Council to hold an emergency meeting on the crisis. See, no one's talking about this. It's an emergency meeting. It's almost as bad as they didn't really publicize the India-Pakistan war that they had. More than, of course, everybody was not really that much upset between the India and Pakistan. They were just glad they didn't have any scam callers for the week. More than 138,000 people have been evacuated from Thailand's border regions. Its health ministry said, reporting 15 facilities, 14 civilians, and a soldier, and with a further 46 wounded, including 15 troops. And officials in Cambodia provided an Ondor Montri report. One civilian at 70 years old man have been killed and 5 more wounded, but have otherwise not proving further details of any casualties. Cambodia's authorities say more than 23,000 people have been evacuated from areas near the border. At the first place, days of clashing fighting resumed in 3 areas around 4 a.m. on Friday. The Thai army said, however, foreign ministry spokesperson, we're just going to say this foreign ministry spokesperson, there's no way, told AFP that that it had begun to ease off by Friday afternoon. Baloka also said that Bangkok was open to talks, possibility to aid by I gotta say this.
Malaysia.
Thank you. God. Okay. We're ready if Cambodia would like to settle this matter via democratically channels. Even though Malaysia, we are ready to do that, but as so far that we have not had any response, told by AFP, speaking before the UN meeting had been held. So, yeah, that's happening in the world today. And I thought that was interesting because nobody's reporting it. We hear Israel, we hear Russia and Ukraine, but we don't hear anything about other parts of the world that are getting
What news source did that come from?
The Guardian.
Okay. I follow, but I haven't done the UK news in a few days. But if you follow news from other countries, you get a whole new perspective, and you find that stuff that we're not talking about. While we're talking about BS, you see the things that are really going on.
Yeah, it's also in a BBC News International Crisis Group. This is like 37 minutes ago. This political thing started like 3 weeks ago. It just went all crazy last week. So,
Oh, wow.
but there was another thing that just happened right when I came in when we were starting, and we wanted to talk about. Apparently, someone is having problems with the Congress Ethics Board. Do you know what that is, Bill?
Ethics?
Yeah,
Well, we try to be ethical here.
Okay, the House Ethics Committee found something disturbing with one of the representatives that works in Congress. Can you guess what that was?
Oh, there's a lot of unethical people in Congress.
Yes, I know that. But we got this from Fox News. This is the story. Let's go ahead and bring this out a little bit bigger so everybody can see this.
When conditions call for discreet.
God bless America. Hold on, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna show
We're
our.
gonna go ahead and discuss what was that?
Okay. There we go.
Tactical vest? Is that what you wanted to discuss?
Hold on.
Oh, that was the
I got
commercial.
I got it now.
Cortez blaming a former aide for not paying the expenses as she faces a House ethics probe over her 2021 Met Gala appearance. Remember that? The committee finding the Democratic Socialist, quote, may not have paid for several thousands of dollars worth of goods and services provided to her. This includes her ticket for the event valued at $35,000, along with her infamous tax the rich dress, accessories, and jewelry. New York City business owner Cherie Murray ran against AOC for Congress. And now, Cherie, this is not going away. There's an ethics probe into this. Does it surprise you the socialist begged for tickets to this ritzy event?
No, it doesn't, not at all. And this is just another example of the pot calling the kettle black. She somehow has performative outrage and selective outrage. And now she just has a memory failure when it comes to the fact that this wasn't a charity event. She's not allowed to receive these tickets. And so, courtesy of Anna Wintour, her and her fiance attended the Met Gala. She got her hair done. She got a complete wardrobe, including shoes. She got her makeup done and conveniently forgot to pay the bill.
There seems panic behind the scenes as they realize they can't do this. According to Page 6, a morning after, a Vogue staffer informed AOC's office the day after the ball, the congresswoman had a great time and everything, but then she says, by the way, Vogue is the one who brought you in there. Now, if the Met Gala gave her tickets, it might have been a different story, but everybody was informed of this. Her answer seems to be, it was my staff's problem. They had my credit cards. They didn't use them. Well,
Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah. So it's a charity event and you don't want to pay for the tickets. And you don't want to pay for the dress. $30,000. I understand on a, young congresswoman's bill. I mean, it's
I can take a white sheet and draw some red wording on it. I mean, I would have done it for 20, maybe even 15,000.
I would probably done it for 5,000. Yeah, 5,000. Yeah, it wouldn't even.
I was
It
like,
wouldn't even
man, you're cheap. $5? What?
no, I wouldn't do it for $5. I'm gonna
How
get
about? Keep going.
I know I was done.
How about the bigger ethics issue?
Go ahead.
Tulsi Gabbard getting the whole Russian collusion and all of that out there, all the information she's found, and she's like, "No, I'm just referring it to the Department of Justice for charges. I'm just getting it and passing it on." And the big thing that people are saying, yeah, Obama, we'll file charge against Obama. No, he'll just use that same thing that they passed for Trump that got him out of anything going on in office, because Obama did do it all while he was in office.
It wasn't
But
voted.
everyone who's around him, everyone else who's involved, even down to Hillary, they're going to bring charges against them. And what all the liberals are saying is statute of limitations. Well, no, I saw another
We
angle
went,
on that yesterday.
hey,
That
Bill.
what?
We went over it Wednesday, and the statute of limitation only happens after the fact that they found out about the crime. They just found out about the crime a couple of days ago, Wednesday, when we actually reported on it. But what happened with that, and I said we're going to go more in depth. Is the reason why I'm trying to speed the process a little bit more. The only other thing that happened during that time frame where she was reporting on what, this is XYZ. Here's something that CNN did. They talked over her after she got to a certain point. Fox News didn't do it. Every newscaster didn't do it. They let her speak. But CNN was the only company that talked over her as she was going through the event.
Which isn't unusual. They did that for pretty much over half the things that Trump did during the campaign. But as far as why they can still file against it, and we won't go into detail in it, but everyone can look up what a grand conspiracy investigation is. That is the charge that would reset the clock on the statute of limitations.
Well, like I said, it's not resetting it at all right now. The reason why it's not stopping that statute of limitation, it's because they just found the evidence. Now, if they found the evidence in 2020, yes, they could say the statute of limitation. But a lot of people don't understand, which we went over it with a lot of the stuff for the Epstein stuff that we're talking about on Wednesday. The statute of limitation on certain things are once the crime is found out. Now, there's some stuff that is statute of limitations. And yes, there was a person that said it's different between state to state on one of the TikTok videos I published out. But it's once the crime is verified as a crime. That's when the clock, actually, the verbal clock starts to where is it, are they going to gather enough evidence to where they can put that person into prison or not, or just charge them with something. It's all
right. If they do charge it as a grand conspiracy, there is no clock anymore. There is no 7 years. It doesn't start. It just continues. That's the deal about the grand conspiracy charge. There is no end date.
Oh,
And the other thing is, they can try that anywhere in any venue. So it doesn't have to be tried in a DC court. They're looking at, because you can't get a fair trial in a DC court, they can bring, because the key crimes were committed in Florida,
really?
they can bring the charges into a Florida court.
Oh, that's it.
That's the big deal about the grand conspiracy charge, rather than any other way they might charge the crime. No end date and can change the venue.
That is very interesting. Very interesting. Now,
and they're looking at they're looking at wrapping it up as a grand conspiracy into the 2020 election fraud, China's fake mail-in ballots, Biden's dementia cover-up, Fauci's pandemic lies, the media's Kamala cover-up, the J6 frame job, and weaponizing the justice system. Wrapping all of that into grand conspiracy and bringing the charges to a different court outside DC. Wow.
and I finally remembered the JD Vance stuff. Okay. Now, I'm going to have to describe something real quick. What I'm going to describe is the H-1B visa. It's a non-immigration visa that allows U.S. employers to temporarily employ foreign workers in specific organizations. These occupations generally require a bachelor's degree or higher in specific fields, or the equivalent, and the visa is intended to help employers fill positions when they cannot find qualified U.S. workers. We were talking about this with what Elon Musk wanted to do with a lot of the stuff, the the H-1B visa program. Now, saying that, Vice President JD Vance launches a withering critique of Microsoft on Wednesday. And this was actually coming from Newsweek by Belra Raya, and accuses the tech giant for letting go of American workers while relying heavily on immigration labor through the H-1B visa program. Speaking to bipartisan events co-host by the Hill. Thank you. And Valley Forum, Vance questions the ethics and economic logistics behind mass layoffs. By the way, 9,000 workers Microsoft just laid off by increased applications for employment via visa. So basically, they're trying to get cheaper workers. This displacement and that math worries me a bit, JD Vance says. And what the president has said, he said very clearly, we want the very best and brightest to make America their home. We want them to build great companies and so forth. But I don't want companies to fire 9,000 American workers and then go and say we can't find workers here in America. That's a bullshit story. Which he is very right on that. I can't believe I can believe it because it's greed. I'll believe the greed stuff. But if you already have the workers, apparently you had 9,000 of them working on this stuff. Now, if you needed to cut back a little bit, I can understand that too. 9,000 is a big amount of employees. Here's the thing about this situation, though. We don't know what those 9,000 employees did. Now, if they're all the equivalent of the people that they want to come in, yes. Screw Microsoft what they did. But if it was just a bunch of janitors. Scratch that. It might be, well, you have to have a bachelor's degree, so that would be kind of, it would kind of be messed up. We laid off like 9,000 janitors, and we hired like 9,000 from Mexico. Not being
Now, a janitor can be professional because when I was a janitor, I considered myself an environmental protection specialist. That was what I labeled my job.
I'm not saying that you can't be a professional. I'm saying that you have to do you have a bachelor's degree in environmental studies to prevent stuff like that?
No.
Then
Oh, you're going back to that C virus thing where it was, where's your medical degree? Boy, I hated that. It's like, oh, you don't have the ability to make a decision and think for yourself. You have to have a medical degree. Yeah.
no, that's not what I'm saying. I mean, you could be a janitor and have like, a liberal arts degree. There's lots of people that have that. But I'm saying the way that visa is worded is they have to have a bachelor or equivalent and whatever. Okay. Like if we were saying what I was saying, if we're going to try to get a janitor, okay, they lay a janitor off that has a degree in environmental cleaning. Okay, we'll go with that. So they just laid that guy off. They laid off an American citizen. I don't care what ethnicity he was. He could be any ethnicity because anybody can get that degree here in the United States. He got the degree. He feels powerful that he got that degree, and now he gets laid off. And guess what comes up? Another one from, we'll just say, India. We won't go too weird. But we get a guy from India that has the same environmental cleaning studies bachelor's degree, and they get him over here and pay him half the cost of the American janitor.
Well, back in the 50s, I think it was the 50s, our immigration system was, if we had openings and skills that we needed here but didn't have Americans to fill, those were the people we would say, hey, we're looking for people with these skills to immigrate here. Okay. That's how it used to be, not free for all open the border.
Well, that was during the Biden administration. What we have, excuse me, what we have now is we closed the border. We had it open for 4 years. And yes, it was just 4 years. Obama had it crammed shut. He did make a Dreamer program, and Trump did a EO executive order to protect those two. He did a EO executive order to protect the housekeeping staff, hospitality, and farmers from those people from getting deported. And yes, that was like a month ago he did that. We reported on it, and you were all confused. It's like, he did not do that. And I showed you the article and everything. You're like, oh, he did that like a couple of hours ago, didn't he? I'm like, yeah. Oh. Anyways, just goes to show who's more powerful. But anyway, there we go. Anyways, it's that age old factor. They want to win somehow, but they don't know how to do it. So
they got no clue. I just spotted something up on the ticker that reminded me. We won't get into it, but I want to mention it. The other issue of how they're going to be charging these people, I said bring it up as a grand conspiracy. They aren't going to be bringing it to a grand jury. If they brought it to a grand jury, it would take forever. It would be way beyond Trump. They are putting up and bringing it to a strike force. So everyone out there, research strike force, and you'll see how they're bringing Kash Patel, Bongino, and all that together, and they're going after the people as a strike force.
Yeah. Another thing that's happening right now is charity stuff. And we'll get this into the last 20 minutes, and we'll probably go on it a little bit more on Wednesday's show. I have to get with Trey with that one.
And you can anyone donate to us, as we are a charity?
We're not a charity, Bill.
We need the money.
We do need the money. But as of right now, just stifle your mouth on the money.
You need a donate button.
It's coming, Bill. Stop. Now, as I was saying beforehand, while Bill was interrupting completely, I got this from what Bill calls the evil channel. Let's go full screen.
Man. Chinese spyware.
Oh, it gets better. Remember the Annenberg Foundation that also was involved in Fire Aid? Well, look at this post from 2 months ago where she says, I'm incredibly proud that philanthropy, I think is the word, has already mobilized over $800 million, a rough estimate as of today, to support recovery efforts. But this is just the beginning. Where's the $800 million? I was trying to find the $100 million, but that was just a concert. Where is this $800 million that was raised for fire recovery? Oh, please. Can we find out? I just would love the list, and not the list the LA Times did. It was like, oh, well, Fire Aid, this guy, they gave $500 gift cards to some street vendors, and the Pilates instructors got $1,000 each at the Pilates play. No, I want real accounting.
Okay. What he's talking about in that video is, surprise, surprise, they had a concert to help out with the LA fires and the people that are suffering in the LA fires. That concert raised $100 million. Well, they gave them half, $50 million. And then they realized, okay, here's the other 50. The first 50 million went to charity organizations.
NGOs.
Yeah, NGOs. It went to NGOs, like helping out cows. No
Poor
reason.
cows. Poor cows.
They weren't
Burnt
even
up, crispy, overcooked.
actually. They weren't even anywhere near those fires.
Oh.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if you caught, I think it was on Laura Ingraham about an hour and a half ago, I saw interviewed the person who was in the commercials advertising for the Fire Aid concert. And he was a little miffed because he went looking for the money. And there's no money helping anyone. No one who it was supposed to help, who is a fire victim, has received it. And they listed some of the organizations that it did go to. DEI organizations more than anything to do with helping fire people or helping people in the fire.
But as of right now, the person that's actually reporting on most of this stuff is Spencer Pratt. I think that's his name. Yeah.
Chris
Spencer
Pratt?
Pratt. No,
Chris Pratt?
no. I swear, Bill, stop doing this jokes right now.
Oh, that wasn't a joke because he's a conservative and he fights for conservative causes. So that actually wasn't a joke.
I said it quite clearly. Spencer Pratt. Now, Here's
Oh.
another one of his videos that he's popped up. Is it showing? Did I not?
No.
I did. I went in reversed on this one. And I'm sorry. I'm still learning.
Gavin Newsom and his wife called up the FireA scam, $100 million money laundering. They said, delete it off the website because Spencer posted a screen recording of us on TikTok. So go delete it. They can't know that we took fire victim money for our little made up nonprofit. Go check it out yourself. This person's right. They removed it from.
So yeah. Apparently, it's Gavin Newsom that's doing this. It's allegedly Gavin Newsom. We don't know the fullness of it. Will there probably be some dealing with a letter agency? Maybe the FBI having to investigate this stuff. Which Gavin Newsom's, I mean, he's propped to be the next president for the Democratic Party, isn't he?
Yeah, he might run. Geez, I almost think Kamala would have a better chance than him.
There's no way she's gonna even. Okay, that seems about it. That's all I got. I'm surprised we got all this stuff in. I got yeah, I got we covered all the stuff that I wanted to cover. I mean, there's one thing that I want to cover that's kind of funny. And this will be the last one of the day, and then we'll cover it all up. But this is a funny little story that I found while going through X before we come to the show, and I find it kind of funny. Okay, what this is, the top picture is what looks like 3 women, and on the bottom picture shows what these 3 women look like without their mask. Apparently, 3 Nigerian drug traffickers decided to do whiteface, but they were arrested at an airport in Algeria after attempting to board a flight to Dubai while disguised as it wouldn't be like whiteface, it would be Arab face. So they disguise themselves as Arabian women. So I thought that was kind of funny.
You play so many TikTok videos that I guess a couple hours ago Brett Bear come out and bragged. He said, I am now on TikTok. So I guess I'm probably going to have to load that damn Chinese spyware on my phone.
I'm not doing it to you. The world's doing it to you, Bill. I'm sorry. But do you
why couldn't he just ban it?
Yeah.
They in Canada, they didn't ban TikTok necessarily, but they blocked the business of TikTok. So they moved their Canadian organization. I don't know, it may have been thousands of people and hundreds of millions of tax revenue. They kicked them out of Canada. They kicked the business out, but they still allow the app. That's Canada.
That doesn't make sense, but yeah. That's another thing that I wanted to get. Is Alberta, and the one next to it, Saskatchewan? I've been hearing articles. We talked about it last week. And I've been seeing articles that they're on the verge of becoming the 51st and 52nd state. And this is not anything coming from United States. This is all Canadians reporting this.
Yeah, I have actually follow on X the guy who is the political person who is leading the movement, and I don't know if that's going to happen, but every time Daniel Smith, she wants to get the oil out, and they need to open their markets to the rest of the world. They're not going to let them. The environmentalists shut it down. Carney says, "Oh, okay, we've got this new bill, and we're going to do these projects." And then it's like, "Yeah, we got these projects, but it doesn't include that." And she thinks she can hit the Asian markets if she gets a pipeline out of, say, British Columbia. She gets it over there and can ship it out. Well, one of the deals that in the Japan trade deal is for liquid natural gas. And when Trump first came in and was talking about the pipeline in Alaska, there were tons of articles like through February that said, "Oh no, that needs investors. That's never going to be done." And then Bessett was in Alaska a couple of weeks ago, and they were like, "Yep, it's going to be done." And what they're going to do is they're going to run it parallel to the current Alaska oil pipeline, so they don't have to get the right of ways along the way. They're just going to run it parallel. So part of the Japan trade agreement was for them to get our LNG, and that's where it would come from through that pipeline. Basically, that's gonna screw Canada's big plan, and Australia sends a lot of energy out. So Trump with these trade deals, he's dominating. He's looking at the big picture and piecing it together and undercutting everyone else before they can do it.
Nice.
He can get that pipeline built. That's what Bessett was there for. No, it wasn't. Was it Bessett or Doug Burgum? I don't remember if Bessett was actually there, but Doug Burgum was there representing it.
Yeah.
And we kick it into gear, and they get rid of they ease a bunch of regulations, drive the environmentalists nuts, and they can get that thing built within a couple of years, they say.
All right. Well, hopefully they can get that done. That's the last of it of the show. We have a lot of people watching this now. 6 people. So
Oh man, and we're giving up.
yeah. Oh, now we're back to 4. But anyways, everyone, thank you all that are listening and watching us on YouTube, X, wherever you're getting our information out.
And like and subscribe so you know when we're on.
Yes.
You never know. We might get into doing breaking news. And if something big comes up, you're going to want to hear from us.
Yes, seriously, done it, but all right. But anyways,
We'll have the news that you want to use if you want to put it somewhere else.
Yeah.
Did that sound right? If you want to put it, use.
I don't know, Bill.
I don't
Anyways,
know.
everyone, I'm David Dickerman.
And I'm Wild William.
Thank you all for listening. Thank you all for watching. Goodbye.